So with that, first, a little bit about us, and sort of what are the motivations behind the marketing evolution platform and what we do. I'll just kind of pick out some of the highlights here. When we sit down and we think about what are the capabilities that are important for the market, some of the tenets that we drive. We are a closed loop marketing platform. We develop and automate everything from the data ingest, so we have the proper data to inform the models, the data preparation, the quality control around that data, ensuring that we have representative, high quality data to push into the model. So all of your media exposures, first party data, third party data, the data that's so valuable and available in the marketplace, resolving that to identity. And we'll talk a little bit about what that means here today. Bringing in attitudinal and behavioral insights, meaning we can address questions of people's behaviors. What are they doing after they've been exposed to media? And then their attitudinal, how are they feeling, right? Typically sort of brand health type metrics. So we can do both. And we do performance reporting, forward-looking optimization, as well as activation. So complete from bringing in all of the data, informing the model, and then outputting in an actionable way to integrated platforms so you can actually activate the buy directly from the platform. And then this cycle begins again as the data feeds back in from those exposures that we just put into the marketplace. So that's what we do. We build this closed loop solution. We make it available all the time in real time, so you can use it when it's most beneficial. And when we do that, of course, we do it in the context of the marketplace. So when we think about, what are the challenges and where have we been as an industry, clearly there's MTA. They have their challenges. There's a historical orientation, and it tends to be very backward looking with historical data. You can imagine in a COVID world, the rapid changes in both consumer behavior and media, that type of long look back window that moves very, very slowly, not as beneficial as something that moves more quickly, which is one of the things that we can do. So it's aggregated, it's very slow. MTA brings some nice functionality to generally a digital world, but it tends to be somewhat siloed in that respect. And there is a lot of uncertainty going forward with respect to the availability of data, the cookieless future, and so forth. How are those going to resolve? And then it's really not representative of the full market because it is a digital oriented perspective. So we want to take a more holistic perspective as we develop our solutions. So with that, what are the things that we're going to focus on today? We have a lot to talk about on the platform. We're not going to try to do it all today. We'll have a series of webinars to cover more and more of what it is that we do. But the key features we're going to talk about in terms of meeting our current marketing requirements: flexible data ingest. We developed a platform that can bring data in at any granularity. We can resolve down to person level if we have the luxury of that data, and that's great. If we don't, and aggregate data is what's available, we can use that. We can use a combination. We can have aggregate sales data or web activity data, and then person level conversion and sales data. And we can reconcile those and use these different granularities to inform the model. So very flexible in the architecture there, which allows us to configure that data ingest specific to the needs of the client. What else have we developed recently? Proprietary consumer choice model. This is a huge departure and massive advancement over traditional sort of regression type models that have been used for decades in this capacity. And what's great is we use a single model across all the data to inform the recommendations that we then make around the media plan. So rather than combining or joining different regression models and trying to reconcile those, or a top down and a bottom up and meet in the middle type approach, we have a single model. We can feed it different data at different granularities, like I mentioned, and it's going to bring you the information you need. So that single consumer choice model where we can determine the effect that media and creative has on consumer behavior. That's ultimately what we're doing. We're modeling consumers and their behavior, not necessarily data per se. And so that consumer choice model is a big differentiator for us. And then finally, today, we're going to get a good look at our new user experience and user interface. We've designed from the ground up a new look to the platform that reflects the workflow that marketers need, and it aligns to the way you do business. It is also a fairly configurable environment with a dashboard and different visualizations and so forth, so there's a lot of flexibility there as well.